What if you could have a supercharged V8 powered Ford Raptor before the factory Raptor R is actually here? Well, this is what I'm here in Houston, Texas to find out. This is a Raptor conversion truck by paxpower. It looks like a third generation Raptor with a few subtle differences. It has lots of power, and I'm gonna drive it here at an off-road park, also give you a 0 to 60 and give you all the details you need to know about this V8 powered off-road truck. To an untrained eye, this may just look like a Ford Raptor, but is it? So let's take a look. Okay, the hood says Raptor on it. White fenders, check. The latest design right here, check. The front grille says Ford, okay, check, with marker lights. But take a look at this. The front bumper is painted body color. The tires look a little bit fatter than normal, even for a factory Raptor. And the interior is super different. All right, let's see how it will do in the dirt. Let me try to launch it here. All right, sound check. You could really hear the Whipple, the acceleration check. Yeah, I mean, four-wheel drive engaged, throwing a little bit of mud, that's all the good stuff. So I was talking about the Raptor F-150 actually separating and almost becoming its own vehicle. But here's the deal about this Whipple supercharger. Whipple, the company, is now working with Ford, and they have access to basically the performance computer inside the truck, and which means you get tunability, you got all the testing that Whipple has done, and also over-the-air updates if needed. So all that stuff also is robust and also separates this truck from the rest as well. But I gotta hit this issue head on. Is this competitive and comparable to a Raptor R? Which is why I have Ben here from paxpower.
Hello.
Hey dude, what up? Good to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you think about this? How about we go point by point, talk about suspension, body, interior, engine, power, and we don't know a lot about the Raptor R still, for sure, but we can guess, right? Yep. So how about we start with the body?
So this started as a normal F-150 Lariat with a V8, and we pulled off the entire front clip and went back on with factory OEM Raptor body panels. So okay. Hood vents, fenders, fender flares, front grille and fascia, bumpers, skid plates. Every item that would make a Raptor body-wise is on here.
Ford parts.
Ford parts,
okay.
OEM.
All right, and then you kind of color matched it, right? That was a kind of customization of it, right?
Particular to this customer, we painted the grille black, we did the fender flares and bumper white, and gave it this Stormtrooper look for him. But
the current Raptor has a V6 twin turbo. Let's look at the hood here. I think this is what a lot of people are looking for, right? V8 sound, but also supercharged power.
Right, so this is a 3.0 liter Gen 5 Whipple supercharger, making about 770 horsepower at the engine.
Yeah, so how do we compare it to the Raptor R? I mean, we know some things. There are some, well, leaks, so to speak, right, on the internet, saying it's gonna have the 5.2 liter supercharged engine, the Raptor R truck, that's similar to the GT500 Mustang, right? Yeah.
Which would give us 760 horsepower if it was the same as the GT500. This is 770, so I think we're pretty close in terms of power.
Yeah, and that 5.2 liter engine that Ford is using there has a smaller displacement supercharger, right? Different supercharger.
Right. A lot of times that'll lead to better throttle response down low, but then the larger supercharger does better at the top end and would explain why we have a little bit more peak horsepower.
All right, I'm gonna see how quick it is on pavement. I'm in four-wheel drive auto, sport mode. I'm gonna boost it just a little. And get it going. Let's see what my draggy GPS device says. 0 to 60 in 5.36. So anything near 5 seconds, I would consider good. Remember, these are 37 by 13 and a half inch wide tires. These are very gigantic and then quite heavy. So turning these tires and getting close to 5 seconds, that's a good result. So let's talk about tires.
These are very aggressive spec in terms of they are 37 by 13 and a half. They're on an 18 by 9 and a half wheel, so everything is very spread out. Looks awesome. May not be for everyone, and that's something about paxpower is that you can tailor the build to you. If you like 35s, that's great. You pick your own wheels. If you want something aggressive like this with mud terrains, we can accommodate that as well.
Let's dig a little deeper because currently, at least for 2022 and 2021, right, Ford has offered the Raptor 37, right? That's a 37 by 12 and a half. Like I said, this is a customized package here. But tell me about these wheels. I noticed they're made in Japan?
Yeah, no expense spared on these wheels. These are actually Volk TE37 forged wheels. Run about $1,000 a piece, but incredibly strong and incredibly light.
Now Ben, let's talk about suspension because that's a crown jewel of any Raptor, so to speak. The Raptor R we still don't know much about. I'm guessing it may have the 3.1 Fox live valves X2s, which is like the next generation where they control the compression and rebound. But what do you have here?
This is what we call our OEM Raptor suspension conversion, and this is predominantly Gen 2 Raptor parts. So a 17 through 20 Raptor has the same upper-lower control arms as those Gen 2s, has axles from a Gen 2, steering components from a Gen 2, and we do differ the shocks. Some models, if we don't want to modify the frame tower, we use a Gen 1 Raptor shock for overall length, but we've started to do more with the frame modification where we use either the longer 3.0s or the orange live valve 3.1s that came on those 19 and 20 Raptors.
Aha, but what about the rear axle, dude? Because I can see, well, the leaf springs in this case, right?
Yes, so the rear axle, if you have the 373, you have the same center section as a Raptor, you have the larger center diff. The rear suspension on this truck is not the 5-link you'll find on a Gen 3 Raptor. This is the leaf spring setup from a 17 through 20 Gen 2 Raptor.
I mean, how come? I mean, what are some of the differences or trade-offs, one versus the other?
Well, for one thing, the leaf spring setup is very proven. We've been running that for 2 generations of Raptors. Ford has. We've put it on hundreds of paxpower trucks, so we know this works. It also keeps us from having to do extensive frame modifications to chop off all of these leaf spring mounts and shock mounts and then come back in with the 5-link and a coil spring setup. It's possible. And anything can be done with a certain amount of money, but maybe it doesn't make the most sense when we know that this setup works really well.
So Ben, we don't know exactly the starting price of the Raptor R that's upcoming. It could be 100K, it could be less, it could be more. Then who knows like what you have to do to get one or what the markups will be, right?
Right, so we do, I think, have an advantage there in that we know what we're getting into with this. This is a normal Lariat. These trucks are actually on lots across the country without market adjustments. So let's just say this is roughly a $60,000 truck. Our Raptor conversion with wheels, tires, bumper, everything to make this look and have Raptor suspension around $30,000. So that gets you up to roughly $90,000. Then you add the supercharger with our 3-year 36,000 mile warranty, puts you about $105, which is, I think, roughly maybe where the Raptor R will end up.
Yeah.
But we don't know yet.
Yeah, plus market adjustments or dealer adjustments. You know, who knows what's going to happen there.
We have a lot of customers that just won't tolerate the market adjustments and are going this direction just because they're not okay paying 10, 20, 30 over on a truck. They'd rather pay sticker, and a Lariat is the way to do that.
.16 seconds. Remember, this is like 98 degrees ambient and high humidity. So yeah, this truck is quite healthy, I would say. Yes, it's not 4.5 seconds, but remember, if you're in a truck like the TRX, it's turning 35s. This is turning bigger and heavier tires. So for this truck right here at sea level, I'm pretty happy. All right, kind of a long day, but really fun. This truck definitely has a lot of power. It's super comfortable on the highway. I did not get a chance to properly test it off-road today, but I gotta tell you this. This is definitely a way to go if you like to customize your truck with totally unique touches just for you, and also have something that's available right now. Technically, you don't have to wait for the Raptor R. And let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you build a truck similar to this? Would you wait for Ford to get the Raptor R? Would you do a conversion like this particular truck here? Would you do different tires? But that powertrain, it's been a really hot day and it's been flawless today. I'm quite impressed with this 5-liter supercharged motor. As always, guys, go back to alltfl.com for everything automotive and many more truck reviews.